We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We got a very exciting episode for you today. We have been banging the Avalanche drum in the background for quite some time. If you've been watching our videos, you know that we've been talking about it pretty much every episode since around August. Now, today, I feel that it was one of those moments where I'm like, look, I can show you a bear in photos. You're like, oh, cool. Wow, what a majestic animal. It's so brown, and I can imagine how big that bear is. But until you see like a grizzly bear up close, face and in person, you probably don't really understand what kind of animal it might be. So what we're going to go over today is the animal that I think that Avalanche has the potential of being and why that's the case. Now, first and foremost, welcome to the channel. To everyone who's new today, I really appreciate all your guys' support. Huge growth so far. We're going to actually start by reading one of my favorite releases, which is Glassnode. Yay! Some of the guys that we use for important insight on the rest of the Bitcoin and Ethereum sector. And again, guys, first off, just so I just use the Avalanche Ethereum killer. You can't kill technology. It's not a living being, right? Just like you don't have a dead battery. It's just a metaphor that we use to try to capture the emotional sentiment of the investors when we go over something that I believe is a very, very calm and important thing to understand. So the launch of the Avalanche to Ethereum bridge, which has attracted much attention from the DeFi community as we examine the new protocol and its implications for DeFi. So this was the moment yesterday where I was like, oh, fuck. Because the Ethereum bridge that Avalanche had built had been talked about in their early papers, but had not really been implemented yet. So one of the reasons why we've seen such a big explosive price was because now you can take everything that's ever been written on Ethereum and you can translate it over to Avalanche with just a few clicks of a button. And this interoperability issue we had never really seen on any of the other chains before. So we're going to go through a deep dive on Avalanche today. So what is Avalanche? Avalanche is a new blockchain network, sub-second transaction times, and low fees created by Avalabs, led by Cornell researcher Emin Gun Sarir. The project launched its mainnet in September 2020. After raising $18 million from prominent investment firms such as Andreessen Horowitz, Polychain Capital, the project raised another $42 million in under 4.5 hours of the public launch of Avalanche in July 2020. This, again, is the stated goal of outclassing Ethereum 2.0 in terms to throughput and latency. So how does it work? Well, the Avalanche network consists of multiple blockchains, and it uses a novel proof-of-stake consensus mechanism to achieve this high throughput and estimated to reach over 4,500 transactions per second, which they have now. Better than Ethereum and here today. Avalanche claims that the consensus protocol combines the benefit of the Nakamoto consensus. It's got robust scale, decentralization, and classical consensus for speed, quick finality, and energy efficiency to form a revolutionary consensus engine. Emin here, I like this quote, over the 3 times in the 45-year-old history of distributed systems, we have finally had a new family emerge. Avalanche is a brand new family. As a big part of this breakthrough of Satoshi's protocol was, it combines the best of Satoshi with the best the classical and scales that no other engine has allowed to integrate in themselves in the consensus layer today. So here we have a quick little breakdown. Nakamoto's consensus scale, it's robust, highly decentralized and scalable, but it's not low latency, not high throughput, it's not lightweight, it's not green or sustainable, and it's actually not resilient to 51% attacks. Well, lo and behold, here's classical Ethereum, has low latency, high throughput, lightweight, green, sustainable, but it's not really that scalable, it's not that robust, and it's not highly decentralized, and it's also not resilient to 51% attacks. Now, Avalanche solves some of these problems. Right out the gate, they have basically a 51% of their proof of stake of the total allocated capital went directly into their staking mechanism. So yes, now you can't attack the proof of stake because 51% of it was instantly put in. Number 2, there's a fixed supply on the limit of how many tokens are created. So whereas with Ethereum, we have no fucking clue what the economic incentive model is going to be. We don't know how many is going to be in circulating supply. It's currently inflationary. Here, you have a fixed supply of over 360 million that are permanently locked in the staking mechanism. And then the other 360 million, which are left on the open market, which is one of the reasons why you've seen such a massive increase on the price today. So under the Avalanche model, each chain is separate in instance of the virtual machine with the support of multiple custom virtual machines such as the EVM and WASM. This is a hugely important factor to make a comparison with something like ADA or Cardano. It doesn't have the Ethereum virtual machine built on top of it, so you can't just take Aave and then put it on Cardano. You have to go through all this different writing and coding and Haskell and kind of a pain in the ass. Here, the DeFi sector can just go and now point over to Avalanche with low fees, high throughput, and other potential hugely valuable aspects to the chain that Ethereum is like a year or two away from implementing. So we'll go over this again. They also allow change with specific case functionality. So each of these virtual machines is deployed on a custom blockchain network called a subnet, which is comprised of a dynamic set of validators working together to achieve consensus in the state of the set of blockchains. In other words, each subnet has its own set of incentive mechanisms to ensure validators' honesty. Avalanche can thus be described as a platform of platforms consisting of thousands of subnets to form a single interoperable network. A deeper analysis of the consensus network can be found here. We will share these in the links probably at the end of this episode. So if you're watching currently, they won't be there, but they will be there afterwards. Again, this is comparing the proof of stake to the proof of work, the classical consensus protocols, and then more importantly, Avalanche's consensus protocol and how it functions. There's a quick little update here from Emin as well, Cornell student, graduate, and then again, the classical comparison breakdown of how these things work. A little bit technical for us to go over today, so I will leave that article as a breakdown, but we'll continue to go through this Glassnode article because it's important. The Ethereum to Avalanche bridge. This was the big kicker. This is when I saw the fucking bear in the room last night. You have things like the Pangolin exchange, which is a direct transfer from Ethereum to Avalanche bridge. This is a very, very important thing to recognize because this means the ease of access for Compound, Curve, Uniswap, Aave to all move on to Avalanche are just clicks of a button away. We have not seen that before. So, important to recognize. Next, we'll keep going over this Avalanche Ethereum bridge, which launched yesterday. This is when I was like, oh no, like this is what we were waiting for. That's why the price has gone up. I mean, just a quick little inflection point here, guys. So we've been talking about Avalanche since it was down at around a few dollars. I think our primary conversations about were around $3 specifically. Here, within just a few days' time, you went from our nice $32 range all the way up to $56. And look what we're seeing here through our horizontal trading range. One of our favorite patterns, which we've witnessed multiple times through our horizontal trading range, which happens to be the support and the resistance here of a rising gradient bottom through the channel itself. This is hugely powerful. For those of you that have been on the channel multiple times, you will recognize the value of what happens when we see the characteristics of this particular pattern come to play. I can very quickly look and say, hey, here was we'll go back to go back in Cardano's time. We can show what happened to Cardano briefly after we saw that as well. Here was Cardano through that that rising gradient bottom breakout channel here too before it went absolutely parabolic. The same thing is happening to Ethereum right now, likely before it starts one of its major runs. Boom, on the top of its channel here. And we saw the same things with, I guess I should just open up Avalanche because, Aave. A lot of A names today. Aave, Avalanche, ADA. People just love the A stuff. Aave was another great example of this kind of rising gradient channel and the explosive move that came very shortly after. Now, a lot of pattern traders get this one wrong because they don't know how a bull market works and they don't understand the volume and character sentiments, but because we like studying this stuff, take a look at what happened to Aave after you saw the exact same signal here. So check it out. Avalanche. Oh, look at this. Cardano. Oh, look at that. Aave, boom, look at that. And Ethereum, also not that far behind. Link is there as well. But today we're focused on Avalanche for a specific reason. Again, remember, guys, I just said Ethereum killer because you can't kill tech. It's just being metaphorically speaking. Like, just calm down now, okay? I'm sure some of you are like, oh my God, just calm down. I'm a venture capitalist investor. I'm interested in new technology, right? And this isn't necessarily DVD and Blu-ray. This might be DVD, and now we're seeing Netflix. And Ethereum might be the DVD. So this bridge allows a seamless transition of ERC20 and ERC721 transfers between Avalanche and Ethereum. In order to use the Ethereum-based assets with dApps on Avalanche, users can now lock these assets in the chain bridge and contract and mint the equivalent token on the Avalanche network. Yay! So you've got JellySwap, Prosper, Pangolin, and BZX are some of these new dApps that have already been built within this 24-hour period from this as well. So the benefits, as DeFi becomes increasingly popular, users are being priced out of the ecosystem due to Ethereum's high network fees. I actually said yesterday, Ethereum is the real ETH killer because the fees were at like $120 for a simple contract last night. Now, I've argued for why fees can be expensive, but they don't need to be anymore. So with the Ethereum price on the rise, even basic token swaps on Ethereum are becoming extremely prohibitively expensive for entry-level players, while interactions with more complex DeFi contracts can come with an exceedingly high fee of 0.1 ETH or over $170 at the time of writing this. So furthermore, as gas prices on Ethereum are subject to sudden spikes, many of these transactions will fail, costing the user potentially hundreds of dollars worth of Ethereum without even executing the transaction. The Ethereum to Avalanche or Avalanche to Ethereum bridge represents a step towards migrating Ethereum's low, costly DeFi infrastructure to a significantly faster, cheaper Avalanche network. Transaction fees on Avalanche are rarely more than a few cents, even when complicated compound computation costs in single-digit dollars range to execute and are significantly faster. The ecosystem itself, one of the most prominent players in the new DeFi ecosystem, Pangolin, a community-driven decentralized. Actually, hold on, guys. First off, let's go over to Twitter here and give Pangolin a little bit of a Twitter tap here. Go, yes, great work, guys. We love what you're doing. We're going to retweet this here too. Follow us on Twitter. $13.5 million locked up in Pangolin in less than 20 hours. And this is just the start of this game changer as far as I can tell. So check out, again, launch Pangolin. Here you go. Take a quick look. I think they're building some really cool stuff. As you can tell right out the gate, it's pretty much just Uniswap, but on Avalanche. Oh, look, let's just add a pool, connect, airdrop, add liquidity, create a pair of Avalanche to new token. What do I want to do? Create an Avalanche to Aave pool. Fantastic. Look at that. Simple as easy peasy pie. And a lot of people already know how to do this stuff. So back to our little conversation here. Mere 3.5 hours later, $13 million, up from 8.5. Again, these figures will be continually updated on Pangolin's dashboard. Shows liquidity now reaching over $45 million. So alongside Pangolin, there are many other dApps joining the Avalanche ecosystem across a variety of different cases. You've got BZX, a new decentralized margin borrowing lending platform. Prosper, JellySwap, Union, eMoney, Reef is now using its cross-chain smart liquidity aggregator across the Avalanche chain as well. Frontier, Elif.im, decentralized cloud services, and Anchor, node hosting, validating services, also running on Avalanche. You can already see that within 24 hours, this bridge has moved some big players. Yield, another great one, has also moved on to the Avalanche chain. Keep this in mind, guys. If you start to see an avalanche of change from the Ethereum to the Avalanche chain, I'm sorry, Ethereum. What are you doing? Ethereum could be in danger here. Personally, my opinion, because again, this uses the Ethereum virtual network on top of the Avalanche blockchain. So everything that you have ever written in DeFi will now function on Avalanche with no code changes. That's huge. Implications, some of the things we've already gone over in this chat so far. Accessibility, the low cost of transactions, the opening up of the DeFi ecosystem to even smaller, more entry-level investors. While the user's experience is still a little complex and represents significant barrier to entry, improvements in this area could lead to a wider range of participants in the globe for DeFi. Low slippage, the slow speed of Ethereum and blockchain often leads to significant slippage, failed transactions while conducting these trades, and the fantastic transaction rate on Avalanche opens the door to minimal price slippage and instant trades. Bring the experience on open DEX trades closer to that of their centralized counterparts. Ethereum 2.0. This has been understandable hype around the upcoming launch of 2.0 and greater scalability it promises to bring, especially transactions on the Ethereum, which grow ever more costly. However, this is a big however and but in your face right now. With networks like Avalanche growing in popularity in the meantime, the launch of ETH 2.0 may end up being much less anticipated or much less impactful than anticipated. The Avalanche bridge contract has already over $30 million worth of Ethereum-based contracts locked up, from ETH 2 million. Wrapped ETH $4 million, Wrapped Chainlink up at $2 million, Tether, Sushi Token, DAI, Aave already starting to move. Yearn, Wrapped Bitcoin, Uniswap, Quant, Polkastarter, and 1inch already starting to move to the Avalanche chain. So migrating to Avalanche, here's a quick little tutorial. We'll keep that in mind. We should probably tweet this guy out. Good work here. EL5 tutorial. We'll just give him a little shout out too, so you guys can follow me and follow whoever the heck this is. There's a lot of learning that goes on right now, but keep this in mind. Retweet. This is a great time to be participating and learning. Glassnode Insights. Again, shout out to Glassnode. We're really stoked on what they provide. So guys, back to the price. I added more to my position here today at around $44. I got nice and lucky with that one, but I have been watching it since last night. For those of you that are in the private den, you would have heard me go, okay, I'm buying more. So remember, for those of you that are new investors, the sickness and the disease of the mind of the new investor is actually lack of education and underconfidence, and that's why you make over-emotional trades. So why not find a healthy way to cure that by creating and joining a new environment of over 600 private investors that are part of the private bear den. So if you go down below in the links and join arcanebear.com/private, you can help secure your destiny to becoming a much better trader and investor. Again, guys, I'm really, really excited about Avalanche, especially with this new potential for the bridge. That was a game changer. Now, very quickly, again, what we're seeing right now, the entire sector that's not Ethereum is doing really well. Cardano jumped up 30% today. Again, when you see that Ethereum's fees were so high last night, hundreds of dollars for simple contract costs, it doesn't make sense anymore. So people are starting to round out their bets and take a look for the other societal contract layers, which Avalanche and Cardano, or AVEX and ADA, can do a much better job of today. Again, the only comparative difference right now that I can see between Cardano and Avalanche is that Avalanche already has an EVM. So all the DeFi stuff that you would have to rewrite for Cardano can just go and run on top of Avalanche. So even from a technical perspective here, very, very strong technical layout here. Again, I accumulated more of this position. It was a venture capital play, and now I'm starting to think that this is a real competitor. You have already seen Avalanche flow into the top 20 in a very short period of time. Let's take a look where we are. And it's much better than Polkadot too, by the way, guys. So keep that in mind. Avalanche currently sitting at number 17. 314% gain in the last 17 days. Beautiful stuff. So I know I'm a little excited about that, but we've been banging the Avalanche drum for quite some time. As a matter of fact, if you go to our Twitter, I pinned this to the tweet today because I thought it was quite telling. If you go to our Twitter, where's our Twitter profile? Yeah, here we go. So this is a funny tweet. Arcane Bear Black, it's just great tech. But this is posted on January 21st, 2021. So let's go back and look when that was. When was January 1st, 2021? Oh, there we go. There's my AVEX tweet way back here at around $12. So guys, again, I know I've been banging the drum of this one for quite some time, but we were in a beautiful reaccumulation pattern here. We had gone over this in the private den. And this is one of the fun things about venture capital. Look at this parabolic change of character too right here. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. So again, you know, based off some of the growth you were seeing here, I've made a little bit of conjecture that we might see a longer trading range form here. But the fact is that we're seeing one of our most bullish patterns of a breakout forming the same way we saw in Cardano, in Aave, in Ethereum taking place right now. I put some more capital in there today. Anyways, the thing that this is not investment advice. Do not do anything I do unless you're confident to do whatever you want to do. This is Tia with the Arcane Bear. Thank you guys all for joining us today. I have a very, very long day full of consultation calls. So thank you to all the private members who I got to speak with today. I love seeing your guys' portfolios grow. I love to see that so many of you have absolutely slated this year. Some of you the most money you've ever had. I really, really appreciate those conversations. So it's great to see. I know it's a little bit difficult for US customers to get their hands on Avalanche, so you might have to be a little playful and really try to figure out how to use Pangolin, because you can trade Ethereum for Avalanche via Pangolin. So go through, do your due diligence, do your homework. Again, you can swap from Avalanche to multiple other tokens once you connect the wallet, but you're going to want to go through and probably read that material we just retweeted. Well, there's a few. This one here, I'll write an EL15 tutorial from MetaMask and enough Ethereum to make the first transactions. And the secondary one here too, which is the Avalanche Glassnode Insight, which brings you more data on how to can really jump between some of these ideas and again go through the learning process, because this transfer from Ethereum to Avalanche bridge, access to the bridge portal, how to wrap the token, how to set up the Robson network or whatever it says here, wrap the token, transfer the fees, etc., etc. You're going to want to make sure you go through the time. It's a little bit tricky. This is not user friendly yet, but ta-da! Select start transfer. Congratulations, you have now transferred ERC20 to the Ethereum blockchain, to the Avalanche blockchain, which can now be used to swap tokens and add liquidity to the pool. And Pangolin, as a matter of fact, for those of you that are in the Arcane Bear pool, we may look at doing that. So because it's a DAO, leave your guys' thoughts and comments, because I definitely think that this is a much smarter way to go at this moment. And I like playing around with stuff. I've always been one who likes to experiment, considering I was a kid that dropped out of school, pursued my own passions and interests, and allowed to live in the jungle in a foreign country, and own a beverage company, marketing company, now apparently a financial information and venture capital company. I really appreciate all your guys' support. This is Teal with the Arcane Bear. This is the end of the episode today. No community discussion. That was my Avalanche deep dive, ladies and gentlemen. I know I've been talking about the fact that there was a bear in the room, but I saw it last night when that Ethereum bridge came online. So keep that in mind. If you start to see that pangolin jumping around here and you see these bridges going and growing massively, $40 million in Ethereum, boom, keep that in mind. You could see a massive change over here. This may be an Ethereum competitor. So keep that in mind. Look at this. Thank you, Dr. Crypto. We'll retweet you there too while we're already online. Steel with the Arcane Bear. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like this content, guys. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, share this content with your family. I absolutely love the fact that we have such a strong supportive group in the community. I'm not going to look at any other tokens today. Nope. This was just for Avalanche. We go over the other tokens on a day-to-day basis, so keep that in mind. Maybe I'll even do a live stream later today, but none of what's going on in Bitcoin is even remotely exciting compared to what just happened with that Ethereum bridge to Avalanche, so keep that in mind. Everything else that we've done in our previous videos is still perfectly on track. The only thing now is that I'm a little bit more interested in there being like real competitors at the table for what Ethereum has built. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. So I don't want to understate that moment while we're in it. So anyways, guys, thank you for all the support. This is Teal with the Arcane Bear. We are logging off for the rest of the afternoon, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Oh, wait, hold on. There's an intro. Bang.